temperatures well into the 40s in the city. Starting to see some changeover in northwestern New Jersey. I'll show you that in a second. Let's start with the nuts and bolts. We do have those winter weather advisories posted mainly along and just around the I-95 corridor. Not really in it, the Hudson Valley and Central and South Jersey, where it's still going to be tricky travel because of the wet roadways, reduced visibility, and of course with temperatures dropping today, some icier conditions later on. Still generally about 1 to 3 inches of snowfall expected across the area. You do see that band again right along I-95 and around into Long Island, where we could see a few isolated spots that exceed that 3-inch mark. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now. But yes, into the 40s in the city with that rain coming down just to the north and west now into northwestern New Jersey, Warren, Sussex County, and the Hudson Valley starting to see a few more snow reports as our radar changes from green to blue. So as that colder air moves in, that transition will continue. For the city, still in that 6 to 7 a.m. time frame. After that, everyone's kind of in the snow showers, and you see time-wise taking us through the midday. So while it may not be heavy at times for the later part of the morning rush, it is going to be messy, and that's kind of the key takeaway here over the next few hours. And Adele, I know you can agree, just take it easy this morning.
Yeah, definitely. You want to allow yourself lots of extra time. You know, if you are going to be taking the kids to school, if it's not a delayed opening or you are heading to work, definitely leave lots of time to get to where you need to get to so you can take it slow out there. We're going to start things off here with our planned track work. It is going on as usual, as with usual track work, our road work on the roadways, which we will get to in just a second. This will wrap up in about another hour or so. And again, if you are going to be driving around right now, Route 23 southbound, this is near I-80. We've got an overturned truck that takes out a lane. It's going to be a bit of a slow go as you make your way through the area. And onto the Verrazano Bridge, lower level, both ways shut down for construction. This is set to wrap up at around 6 a.m. And if you are going to be hopping onto the George Washington Bridge, you can see those glistening roadways there outbound. Upper level right lane closed for construction. Darlene, back to you.
All right, thanks, Adele. Well, the New York City.
Find out what they're going to encounter if you're out on the road right now.
Well, you can see for many of us, it's still the wet roadways, messy enough because timing-wise, it's always trickier, especially when you get more cars on the road. But you can see all the green right now in and around the city, the Turnpike, I-80 as well. But then you start to see 287 and west of there beginning to see a little more blue on the radar. That's starting to see that transition over to snow. However, it is this batch here, this wave that'll ride up and enhance some of that changeover and that pace of that snow as we get through the next few hours. So as we go through the morning commute, rain right now for the city, that transition time happening around 6 to 7 a.m. or so, and that's always difficult, anticipating the changing driving conditions. After this morning, it is mainly snow showers, but that takes us through noontime. That's not our only concern. Temperature is a huge part of the story, above freezing now, but you can see by the evening drive, everyone below freezing. So we have some concerns for later on today as well. I'll talk about the deep dive for temperatures into the weekend and a look ahead in the next 10 days.
Maria, thank you so much.
The Verrazano Bridge, lower level both ways, remain shut down for construction until about 6 a.m. We've also got construction on Sunrise Highway eastbound between Buffalo Avenue and Winsome Avenue. That shuts down 2 lanes. Let's take a live.
We're looking at the bridge, but now we're looking at Maria.
We are. And she looks beautiful.
Oh, thank you. The bridge looks good, too, for now. It's mainly rain, and we're anticipating not a lot of snow, but timing really is everything with this system. So those winter weather advisories go through later this morning into the early afternoon, and you see where it lines up, mainly along and around that I-95 corridor for Long Island, coastal Connecticut, too, where we're still looking generally about 1 to 3 inches of snowfall, but again, timing is everything. So let's get you ready for it. We expect for most spots to see rainfall through at least 5 a.m. That's certainly the case through the city. And then in that 5 to 7 a.m. time frame, a lot of areas changing from the rain over to snow, where we're looking at generally light accumulations. There may be a few spots, depending on how long some of that steadier snow can hang on over one spot in that 3 to 5 inch category. So we're going to be doing some shoveling, and it's that heavy wet snow as temperatures will be close to freezing at that point. Expect the slick, messy conditions for the roads this morning, right? Definitely messy, not impassable, but you want to give yourself lots of extra time. But here's the other thing, near or below freezing all day, and that is certainly the case later on this afternoon. So if you have plans to be out and about, getting the kids, getting home from work, those conditions conditions will have to be watched carefully as well for icy spots. All right, here's the status right now. We've got 42 in the city, 40 in Newark, 40 in Bridgeport, and it's all green on the radar. You draw 287 and I-84 just north and west of I-95, and you start to see a little more blue filling in. Some light snow beginning to fall across northwestern New Jersey and parts of the Hudson Valley and Connecticut. There is an area to the southwest, though, that will come up and sort of enhance that snowfall potential over the next few hours. Let me show you that. So through 7, 8 a.m., you see the dark shades of blue here. That's a little bit more of that heavier snowfall. So from Long Island through the city, even in central and south Jersey, seeing that change over to from rain over to snow. Snow showers still going through at least lunchtime and then tapering off by early afternoon. But you note the temperatures well below freezing just about everywhere. Kind of highlighting that hour-by-hour drive for the Jersey Shore, for example. You hang on to that rain a little bit longer, changing over to snow later in the morning, and you're in that 1 to 2 inch of snowfall category. Again, that purple zone, generally still about 1 to 3 inches of snowfall expected. So again, not a lot. Please keep that timing in mind.
We're going to start things off here with some construction, but before we get to that, I just want to reiterate, it's less than ideal driving conditions out there. It's not terrible, but the roadways are wet, they're slippery, so allow yourself some extra time, be very careful out there, and as the morning heads further along, if you don't have to drive, please stay off the roadways. Verrazano Bridge, both ways, lower level remains shut down for construction until about 6 a.m. If you're heading out to Long Island Sunrise Highway, Buffalo Avenue out to Winsome Avenue, 2 lanes closed here on the eastbound side, and here's a live look outside right now onto the Staten Island Expressway. It's still a pretty quiet ride out there, but again, you can see those roadways glistening. Be very careful if you are going to be driving around. Cars still moving at a typical speed, but you may want to slow it down if you are planning to head out there. Also, keep in mind we've got our usual planned track work going on until about 5 a.m. and driving around today, alternate side parking rules will be suspended, but you still have to feed your meters. Darlene, back to you.
All right, Adele, thanks so much. It is
For the next couple hours.
because stuff is happening, and Adele is here to talk about roads, rails, and your commute if you're leaving. And Maria, we're talking about this weather.
Yes.
It was not as raining as hard. I mean, there was some rain, but it depends on where you are, right?
It depends on where you are and the next couple of hours as well. And I know Adele put it